before it's too late. Let's work together with the best America has to fix our aging electric grid. The answer is not more science. The answer is economic. Investors, entrepreneurs, and engineers can make a better world for our children and our grandchildren. Can you imagine if the tobacco companies got to control the Surgeon General? So where does that leave us? The Congressional EMP Commission, with the best scientists, says we have an existential problem. The military's Electronic Defense Task Force says we have an existential problem. Every major adversary that we face has an EMP doctrine and weapons ready to use against us. They believe we have an existential problem. The President signed an executive order because he knows we have an existential problem. But the industry control lobby group says there's no problem, or at least nothing justifying looking over their shoulder. So what can be done? First, we'll see how the EPRI report plays out against the President's executive order. Second, the group that I met with is producing a report of their own and likely will point out any junk science that's in the EPRI report. Lieutenant General Quast promised that there will be a fair and thorough review by all true experts not beholden to the industry, but rather with the best interests of Americans at heart. For our part, we want to apply some bottom-up pressure for the industry to take this risk seriously. What is good and what we could do is we could make the grid resilient. That should be our goal. Our electric grid is aging infrastructure anyway, with or without an EMP. It's patched together and built in pieces over time. We need new technologies, which means engineers, entrepreneurs, and investors. In case of a space weather event, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Now, remember Y2K? You know, when everybody was worried that the new century and the new millennium was going to roll the clock and cause our computers to crash? Most people think that was a disaster that never happened. But I can tell you something. The preparations we did for Y2K sparked all kinds of innovation. Companies invested in IT and benefited from upgraded and modernized equipment and greater productivity. This is really where the cloud took off. There were huge investment opportunities, and we're reaping the benefit of those today. Our grid's got to be modernized, and it's got to be made more resilient. It's ridiculous that a fallen tree branch in Ohio can cause a cascading effect that creates a power outage in New York. The President's executive order is a great opportunity to shore up this critical infrastructure on which all of society depends. This is truly a national work that must be done, and the time to do it is now. As we advance in so many areas, we can modernize, improve efficiency, and most important, establish resiliency. Of course, doing so may threaten the private interests that own the patchwork pieces of our current electric grid, and they may push back. So what we need are incentives to fix the problem. How do we keep the current stakeholders in place while modernizing and building resilience? We can also include sustainability, looking to future energy in a rational way. This is an economic problem, but it's also an economic opportunity. Now, I'm going to be working with the key decision makers to find ways to accomplish this, but you can help. We need you to spread awareness. This isn't a partisan issue. It's an issue of survival, but also opportunity. So here are some action steps. Number one, get the battle plan for this episode, but also episode number 22 at economicwarroom.com. Number two, make others aware of this issue. We have an aging power grid with a bad regulatory structure. It puts all of us at risk. And number three, tell your financial advisor that you want to find investment opportunities that not only make money, but also help to ensure America's future for our children and our grandchildren. We can work together to find appropriate investments for our future. Number four, and this one is really important. We're gathering advisors who wish to serve clients, but also to work to secure our nation's future. Most advisors don't know how to do both of those. So we started the NSIC Institute a few years back with test programs at Hillsdale College, Kirby Center, and the Oklahoma Wesleyan University's Keating Center. Now we need to expand. If you have a financial advisor, a financial planner, a CPA, a stockbroker, and you want them to look for opportunities and investing for your wealth, for your profit, but also to preserve our way of life, send us their names. Send us their contact information. We have a special webpage we've set up, economicwarroom.com/advisory.